Just so happy and proud and relieved right now. The last half hour was as much under siege as I've seen a team that I've coached in a moment that important and pressure filled. We found a way, right? So we talked about it at halftime. We found a way to get the result, to make it to the finish line. And that is an excellent, excellent Texas Tech team. I think for who we've played this year, I think it's the best team we've played. I think they can make a lot of noise in the NCAA tournament, and wish them well, and thank them for a really, really great game tonight. Soccer is a team sport. It's one of the reasons that I think it's so special. It's one of the things that attracts me to this profession. And you ask players to buy into something bigger. That it's not just about a win here or a loss, or executing a play or being a good soccer player. It's about investing in other people and investing in a process. And you just never know if you're going to get a payoff, when you're going to get a payoff, or how you're going to get a payoff. And in this last week or so is a lot of the reason that we all do this. And Raena and Liv, we continue to find players that find special moments. And Raena has been an absolutely amazing teammate this year. As maybe not having the exact role on the field that she wanted, and we ask our players to be ready. We ask them to if you can find a moment, make the most of it. And I remember back when I was coaching at Miami, Ohio, as an assistant coach back in 2012, a player, Haley Pleshikoff, scored a game-winning goal in the conference final after not having it all year. And I when I see her to this day, we talk about P's goal, and anyone who's on that team, we talk about it. And that was that kind of moment for Raena. A one-goal lead against this team was going to be hard to defend for an additional 40 minutes, and so Liv's goal, beyond being an absolutely amazing header, gave us a little bit of breathing room, gave us the confidence, gave us that extra boost of energy. And if you're fortunate enough to go along one of these journeys, probably definitely the way we're constructed, it's going to be a different player every game that kind of becomes the hero. And we've just been finding him, and so incredibly proud of the team.
You mentioned during the presser on Monday that this Texas Tech team doesn't give up a lot of set-piece goals. What was the secret tonight to finding multiple?
The first one, our service was very good today. So that gives us a chance. We challenged very hard for the first ball. I believe it was Jocelyn, which then allows it to become kind of a scrum and kind of a mess. And Raena was on the ground competing, pops up, ball pops to her. Raena is excellent in front of goal. And so that is a tough moment. She still had a lot of work to do. Kept a cool head. She has really good technique and was able to generate power without a run up, or the ball was kind of stuck under her feet. So people made plays. And then that second one, I thought Texas Tech defended it very well. It's just Liv just made a big time play. Not just getting to the ball, but she had to get it over the keeper, over the player on the post, generate the power. And so I don't think that was anything that Texas Tech didn't do in those moments. I think it was a case of Kansas soccer making some plays.
And then throughout the season, one of your favorite phrases has been goals change games. And obviously when they got one back, it did seem like there was a little bit of a momentum shift. What did you tell the team? How did you keep everybody there for the last 25 minutes?
A tough thing about our sport is there's no timeouts. And I would have used a few. They changed shapes pretty early in search of a goal. We had to figure out how to deal with that. And then as we sustained pressure, the stuff that we would normally do probably wasn't going to work. And so we changed shapes and just kind of held on. So I wish I could take credit for giving players these magical words of advice on how we were going to endure that last 20 minutes. I wish when you go up 2-0, like you just want to be able to hold that lead for a while, because usually when someone scores, it then gives them that burst of energy. And we still had to see out about 25 minutes or so, I think, which felt like multiply that times 5. But I think at halftime, we went into halftime with a 1-goal lead, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. No matter what the circumstances were, we were going to have to show some grit and heart and selflessness, resilience. We'd probably have to get a bounce or two. That's just how it goes this time of year. So we just found a way.
And then for Raena, obviously he had mentioned there was a lot of chaos during your goal. You know, when you're in a situation like that where it seems like everything's moving 1,000 miles an hour and there's so much going on around you, how do you just focus in on your shot?
Yeah, honestly, on my goal, I kind of blacked out. It was just kind of a lot. Like, I saw the ball, and Nate does a really good job of telling us to move forward. So in my head, I was just like, move forward, get the ball. Doesn't matter if it goes in, just like progress it forward, because maybe someone else can knock it in. But yeah, I feel like all growing up, just composure around the box was something that I always trained myself in. And I feel like when I was on the ground, I was like, saw a slight opening and just took a chance, and we went in.
Then finally for Olivia, obviously on those set pieces, things can tend to get a little bit chippy. How do you kind of, especially going up for a header like that, how do you manage to rise above and, you know, find a shot like that?
I feel like growing up, like club and high school, like corners have been like one of my favorite things to do, and like try my best to get my head on the end of those balls. And so coach talks about being brave, and so in that situation I was just brave and got there first, and it went in.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Olivia, just to follow up on that, you know, your first goal in 14 months, what were your emotions like?
Honestly, I think I'm still processing. It's really exciting, and it's really surreal to see our growth and how good this team is doing.
And then Raena, like you mentioned, you blacked out a little bit. and did you know that like Kate was like right in front of you? Did you think she was going to get out of the way? Clear space?
No, I saw a ball and went forward, because I was like, either it's going to hit Kate and come back at me, and I'm just going to continue going. But honestly, I just saw a bunch of people in front of me, saw an opening, and just try to make the best out of it.
Coach, your defense has been really good throughout this entire tournament. What did you see from them tonight?
Yeah, the defense is, there's a lot of reasons that this team has grown, and I think one of them is we've become a very good defensive team. And we have a lot of players that contribute to that success, and one of them, Brooke, was here for 80-90% of the season, and now we've been playing without her for a minute. But yeah, like Liv, Asa, and Mackenzie Bovey have really formed a reliable, strong partnership that gives us a lot of confidence, allows us to do the things that we ask, move forward. You can only do that if you trust what's behind you. You know, Bovey missed the first game of the tournament, and Jordy, a freshman, slid in, played 90 minutes, I think, in not her natural position. You know, our wingbacks, this was a tough game for our wingbacks with this shape. They really test you, and so like Carol's been putting in 90-minute shifts every single time. She's with the doctor right after I think Liv left, because she has a knock. You know, Lauren and who's out there on the right? Tobin and Jordy have been kind of sharing that position. And so we feel like when we first started coaching sort of our tactics and our shape and, you know, the finer points, we tried to have the team understand if we do these things, it's going to work, you know, and it takes a lot. It takes bravery, and it takes attention to detail, and it takes trust, but like it's now becoming part of what we do. I don't think you have to overthink it at this point. The communication back there has been really impressive whenever I can see it. And I mean, Sophie, you know, in goal, like today, she got more action than usual. And whenever she's been called on, she's come up big. So I think it's just a team effort, but like I think multiple people have stepped up to make that work. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it means a lot. It means everything. It's funny because we were sitting here a few days ago, and I was just coming off an emotional high, right? It was just like euphoria. I was jumping around with the team, and it was an amazing moment in that way. Today, it was more like, disbelief's the wrong word, because I told the team before, like, I thought we were going to win this game, right? But like, I think that the culmination of what we're doing, that this isn't, the norm, the pride, like, it's more just sitting back and just with this goofy smile on my face and kind of shaking my head and hugging the coaches, as the time was ticking off, like 10, 15, 20 seconds and the ball's out of bounds, I look at these guys and I'm like, we just won this one, didn't we? So yeah, we want to soak this in. You don't always get these kind of games, moments, weeks, but you want more. And like, I'm just trying to process how we can celebrate, and then how we can keep this team going. And but it's a huge shout out. Like, I don't know how many people were here today, but I heard them. So Jayhawk Nation, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being loud and proud. I think, when we were clearing balls there at the end and under siege, when we cleared the ball, it felt like the stadium was full to me. The crowd getting behind us. It's crazy that the two sitting here in front of me and Lex the last game are all Kansas City kids, local players. We want KU to be a national prominent program. That's always been the vision. Hopefully people are noticing. Hopefully people can see themselves rewriting the record books and bringing this program to the next level. And yeah, we're just gonna keep fighting, clawing, and seeing how far we can go.
Coach, it was an extremely physical game. It seemed like Texas Tech got frustrated a few times with the way the game was being called. How did you, both you and then the players, kind of keep everything, keep your composure and keep that pressure up?
Yeah, I mean, this was a game of women, right? Like, anyone who, I think thankfully the sentiment has kind of passed, but anyone who doesn't think that this is a sport for big time athletes and high contact and as physical and athletic as it comes, like, come watch this game. See the size of these players, see the speed of these players, see the bravery of these players. And Liv's wearing a battle scar and Caroline's wearing one. But like, that's what happens this time of year. You line up two really good teams who are playing for stakes. Who knows how this is going to shake out? But if we lost this game, I think we would have had a tough few days waiting for our fate, and maybe our season ends. And so when you play with that sort of desperation, there's going to be some physical moments. Proud of our team. Here's where I'll speak for myself, and I have a ton of respect for Texas Tech, and I think they played a great game. I think our team did a better job of kind of keeping their head, not letting that kind of distract them. And I think that has a big part of us being able to kind of see it out. But hey, I wasn't on the field, so why don't you guys talk about it?
Yeah, going back on the composure, just not even just in front of the box, but keeping our head, keeping our chill, definitely maintaining the game is kind of what we have been working on throughout the season. Towards the beginning of the season, it was kind of hard to maintain the last 10 minutes, but I think as conference has continued playing out, we've definitely kept our head, kept our cool, and realized that like we are in this together, we are one team, and we can't like let one person wander off. It's like, no, like we need you, like get your head together and let's go. And I think that our captains specifically have done a really good job of doing that. And I know they can't play right now, but on the bench, it's like really, really special to hear their like support, and it's just really special to have that. But also just leaders stepping up on the field and just making it clear that like we need everyone. We can't let anyone wander off and bring us back together.
Going off of what Raena said, last season we had a hard time with the last 10 minutes of the game, but seeing our growth this year, we were on all 90 minutes of the game when we were playing our best game, and just being able to look at each other and be like, hey, I need you, you got this, I believe in you, really helps us a lot.
For both of you guys, real quick, Nate just talked about the stakes, and you guys are well aware of what's on the line Saturday, but also beyond Saturday perhaps. You got a winning streak intact still. How do you handle those things? Do you address them? Do you not even talk about them? Do you think about them at all? Do you talk about it as a team? How does that work when you're on a hot streak like this?
Well, now that I'm a senior and experiencing like winning, the past seasons haven't been great. I feel like this is the most these coaches have actually like educated us on like RPI and things like that. I feel like I'm learning this as a senior, and that shouldn't be the case. But I definitely respect a lot. Like even before going into the tournament, we had like a team meeting and definitely talked about what the stakes are, and it definitely put belief in us for sure. Like our team has a lot of belief and a lot of pride just because of what these coaches are engraving in us of like, hey, we can do this. Just put our heads together and let's make it work.
Can you repeat the question one time?
Just how do you manage, you've got a winning streak intact, you're tracking your RPI, you're trying to win a Big 12 title, you're trying to get to the tournament. Do you face all that? Do you actually talk about it? Do you hide from it? What do you do?
I think as a team we do have those conversations, but I think for me I take it game by game and just have trust in my teammates, and because I've seen what we can do, and just if we're on our top game, then we put up a good fight.
And real quick, I just asked Lexi this same question, but how many times have either of you guys played for a title? I'm talking junior high, club, high school, any of that. Do you know?
Yeah, I've only played for like a title in club soccer, National League. I was guest playing with an older team. Sorry, my phone is going off. Yeah, that's, guys, my bad. My bad. Wow, lost my train of thought. But I was playing up, and I feel like I wasn't taking it super serious because, like, oh, this isn't my team. I'll just do what they need me to do. And then my senior year of high school, I went to Grand Valley High School. Girls have never made it to state, never, ever did that. And we did, made it state championship, which was really special. Unfortunately, didn't win, but it was definitely a huge experience. And even today, actually, my brother texted me. He was like, just think back to your senior year, your final, your state champion final, and think about how you played and just like go with that mindset into this game. And that was just really special, and it's funny that you asked me that question because I was thinking about that the entire day and the entire night, and I definitely gave me that extra motivation to like continue and play well.
Club-wise, we did. Sorry, club-wise, we did make it to the state championship a couple of times, but I was like ECRL. I played for KC Fusion, and then for high school, I played for Mill Valley in my last 2 years, and we did win the state championship my senior year.
Just any initial thoughts on playing TCU in the final?
I'm getting, this is testing our stamina, trying to prepare for these teams, right? 4 in 10 days, all very good teams. The last 2 that we haven't played before, and probably the best 2 teams in the league. They certainly in the regular season. We watched them play BYU before our game. I think the first 25 minutes watching that game, I'm not sure BYU got out of their half, and so TCU looked very, very good. But I think BYU played themselves into the game, and I think it's very much just it shows that in tournament play in soccer, there's ebbs and flows and momentum. TCU's, maybe probably the best team in the conference in many ways, but they're possession-based. They really can, wear you down and pull you apart. They pride themselves on it. I think before last year, they were on a run of 3 straight Elite Eights, and so we have our work cut out for us. But we did today as well. This is a very good Texas Tech team we played. So these fine young gentlemen in the back, Daniel and Tyler, a lot of their next few days is going to be, putting the scout together. Tiff does a great job with the set pieces, but we'll have the team ready.
And then, a lot of people in the media are saying that tonight helped you guys players going into the championship game. Obviously, there's still that hunger. There's still that, job's not finished. Is there any sort of feeling that maybe you guys are playing with house money now and maybe you guys have a little bit of a cushion going in?
I mean, hey, I think we deserve to be in the NCAA tournament at this point. Okay, so I don't know if we're in the bubble or not, but I think we should be in. When we talk to the team, I don't think they need any extra motivation to go try to win a ring, to go try to hoist a trophy, to go try to earn a banner that will be hung up at RCP forever. I think that
should be enough motivation. I don't think we have to talk about the NCAA tournament too much anymore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else? Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks.
Rock chalk.
Sorry for my alarm.